How's everybody doing today? It's the 23rd of July. This is Al Spath, and I am at a 25 cent or 10 cent, 25 cent table that just started. So I wanted to show you what happens when you just start. Here I'm out of position, and I've got a pocket sixes. I want to just see a flop here. I don't really want to raise. I want to set mine and see if I can catch a six and take somebody's stack. Um, what you have to be careful with when you play at these short tables is that the rake goes, the blinds come around so fast and the rake is so much. You really got to be careful that you don't lose some of your money. Some people might prefer just to sit out till 5 or 6 players show up. I can understand that, but you have to have some short table skills to be playing like this, because you can't just fold everything. You got to fold something like a 2-9. But in most cases, you're going to have to make a move to win some of that, just like that gentleman just did, or lady, and win some of the blind money to pay for or offset the blind money that you're going to have to be putting up. And when you have a guy that has $6, you have to be careful, because it looks like the bankroll's not too big, and they want to throw it around a little bit and get all in, not lose that much. If they do lose something, they tend to be a little bit more aggressive when they play. That's an awful big bet there. That's more of a steal bet or protecting something there. Um, I don't know why you want to waste $1.60. If you got a good hand, you want to see a flop. Okay, so I don't have much here, but I got to raise if I'm going to play it. So I'm just going to raise it up just to 65 cents. Not the min raise. The min raise has been to 50 cents. I'm going to follow up with a pot size bet and try to get him out right here. $1.30 of his 560 is a lot of money. Of course, if he comes over the top of me, I got a backdoor flush draw. I got a pair. I could get an ace. I could get a 3. There's a lot of things I could do, but I'd rather him not come over the top in that situation. So there's a good example of me being aggressive, even though I was out of position. And if you haven't watched some of my other videos before, some of the key points I'm going to always stress over and over again, so it pounds in your head. When you're out of position, you want to bet a little bit more than when you're in position. The reason being, you have so many people that act behind you, so many people that are going to try moves against you. Even when they don't have anything, they're going to try to take things away from you. So if you make it a little bit more, it costs them a little bit more to try those ventures, and a lot of times that will discourage them from trying it. For instance, if you raise an early position to 75 cents or $1, and if they're going to go 3 times, that's $3 that they have to do at a low limit game. That's a lot of money. But if you just make it 50 cents or 60 cents and they go 3 times, that's $1.80. A lot of people will try to make a move at that, because it's not really costing them that much money. So you notice the $1.80 and the $3 is 2 different things. And now I'm out of position here. My cards aren't good. He did a min raise. He just put his money in. I think that I could possibly bust him if I catch something here. So I'm just going to pay the quarter. Now that is not the flop I want. If this was Queen 10, of course, I would prefer it a lot better. Or even Queen 8 would give me the draw. He checks it back to me right there, like he might have something and he wanted to see if I would bet. But I'm not going to take any of that bait. Hey, if you try something, you don't have to compound it. And if it doesn't work, you don't have to make it worse. Again, here's a 3-2. It's an easy fold. I'm hoping that we get a few more players in, and just if one of these guys leave, I'm afraid that the table might just bust up and it'll be a short video. If that's the case, then I'll start another one. But here again, I don't like the cards, but three-handed, they're pretty good. They're pretty solid. They're in what they call a playing zone, hot zone. He took a little time to call. I'm going to follow up with a pot-sized bet here. If he bets, I was going to come over the top of him. I got to redraw it, both overcards and the 10. 8-9. Maybe if that was suited, I would play it here. I guess you're saying to yourself, well, what's the difference? 3%. I don't like those cards that much. in that position. This guy's been pretty loose. This guy's been pretty loose. Would have had nothing anyhow, but we can't be results oriented. We just have to make our choices with the information we have up front. Again, hoping for one or two players more to come. If they do, the table will fill. If not, then you'll notice that the table will just disintegrate. So the 9 would have held up, and I would have got the ace-5 out. That's obvious. Remember, he did a min raise with the ace-5. That's big information to know. He had ace-5 suited, and he did a min raise. So we want to see, when we get information, we want to file that away. That's important information to know what a person would do. Again, this is not the best hand in the world, but he doesn't get to see it for just the minimum. He has to pay a little bit more. I was going to fire a pot-sized bet no matter what. Okay, so he's saying he's got the ace reg or he's got the draw, but I have nothing. So rather than fold immediately and let him know that I was on a complete bluff here, and I could have bet less and I could have saved myself some money, but I really wanted to influence it here. So I wait and decide, and then he has to think I had a little something. Sometimes people, your opponents, are stupid enough to show you their cards after you wait a little while too, so you never know. I would have raised first. If he didn't, I'm not going to re-raise, even though I have position. I don't really like the ace-4. If this was ace-9 or something a little better, I might re-raise him there, but I got to figure he has a pair or a better ace than me. Almost any ace he has is better than me. Excuse the voice there. For those of you that are watching for the first time, I'm on Full Flush Poker. You could sign up for that on my Teach GPL page. There's a link for Full Flush Poker, and heartbeatpoker.net offers a lot of extra free rolls and special things. So if you get in that group, you'll see them in the lobby. You'll see all the games, and it's really a fun time. They also broadcast live. I'm going to just limp in here and see what he does. See if he goes to 50 here. They also broadcast live on Ace High Radio. And for some of you that are in my affiliate group from the past over at True Poker, we'll be doing a live Skype session next Saturday. Not this coming Saturday, the following Saturday. And I hope you'll join us at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Now here, I've got good cards in good position. So now I'm going to go 3 times with the pot over him. And if you don't have that True Poker link, just look at one of my videos. I put it there, or you can email me at alspath@alspath.com. I'm going to go 3/4 here. I don't think I need to go a full pot. Again, you know, it's just a continuation bet. It's just I have to do it against 1 or 2 opponents. Now, the king might be good here. It might be a really good card. I'm going to let this one go. Kickers aren't as important when you're playing heads up or 3-handed or 2-handed, but there's too many people here that also realize the value of an ace. And I'm just going to call here. And so they're in the pots with a lot of ace rags, so your king may not be boss. I think that this guy will go probably $1, yeah. It's easy. Try to figure out what an opponent might do. Look at the pot size. Think about their previous betting habits. This indicates a little bit of strength. I would say he's got the king. He might even have 2 pair. I think if he'd have went half pot or a small bet, he might have had the 10 or something like that. But I think he had a little strength there himself. And he's built himself up to $9 now. I would have probably made a move on him here, but I can't really make a move on him because I'm out of position and my cards aren't that great. Again, I got position. I don't really like the cards, but I've got to put a little heat on them. If I win the 35 cents, great. That pays for my blinds when they come around. 7-10 is not a hand I want to do. Sure, I could raise with that hand and act like I had something good, but I'd rather wait for better cards. That's a min raise there. I'm going to just go back over the top and see if what he's made out of here. And I'm going to go 3/4 right back at him, saying that I have the. Now he's saying that he has an ace, so now I got to be careful of myself here. So I'm going to just go $2 and see where he's at. See, he beat me in the pot, so I'm going to go one more time and see if he'll pay me off. And Broadway wins again. So I did have a back, door draw here. I had a gut shot, and it turns out great. Now we lost this guy here. Unfortunate, because when we lose one, we might lose several more. So this video may come to a halt, but if it does, he says, "Nice donkey bullshitty." Want me to see if I'll tilt him? This site loves dumb, you know what? There he goes. He's gone. Okay. Well, this will be. I'm going to sit out also, and rather than end the video, I'm going to see if I can pick up another game real quick here. Maybe it'll be a 6-handed game. So if he checks, I'm going to bet. It's just as simple as that. He checks, I bet. I think he's on a draw. I don't think he has a 9. All right. So that was a quick session. We won $10 or $11.80, but that helps build the bankroll. Let me just real quickly go up here and look at the system here and see if we can't find a. Here we go. Some of the same similar people. We'll do it this way. I'll leave this table here. We'll put this table up here. We'll stretch it out. We'll auto close. We'll take the muck off. And here we are back with $25. Let me just move this a little bit more so it's a clean video for you. This guy was at the other table. These other people are not. But look around. 71, 49. You can only sit with 25. We got some people that have been winning here. I'm going to wait for the blind because I want to just explain some things to you. When you sit down at a table, take stock of the fact that what the person has in their arsenal. I'm talking about what do they have for chips, because when you go set mining, anytime you call a raise, for instance, and you have like pocket eights and they raise you 75 cents, you got to make sure that they have 10 times or better that amount to call, because you need the implied odds to pay you off when you have cards. So, it's important to know who has $5 or who has 71. You know that this guy's been winning. He's either lucky or he's pretty good. Same with this guy here. They don't get to double up all the time because they stink. They usually get to double up because they've know what they're doing, or they have possibly got lucky. But we'll just see how things turn out here. I also like to look at. I put my cursor on it. This is Russia. This is Austria. Looks like it's Chicago. SI, I don't know where SI is, at Tampa. So I like to look. If this table had, for instance, 3 Russians, that would be really kind of sketchy for me, and I'd probably get off because they might know each other. They might be on Skype with each other. Who knows what they're doing? So if I see 2 people from same city, or one day I sat down, it was 3 people from Brooklyn. That was pretty odd, and I asked them, I said, so where do you guys know each other from? There was awful silence in the chat. There was nothing. Oh, we don't know. No. And then one person left from Brooklyn, then the other person left from Brooklyn, and then the other person left from Brooklyn. Because I kind of called them out on it. So this guy here, he's sitting out now. If you got up to 70 bucks on a $25 table, if you started with 25, you may have started with less. You might want to just take that money and go to another table and bank it and sit down with 25 so you don't give it back. That's how you build a bankroll. But if you feel that you're at a table and you're controlling the table and it's juicy, and when I say juicy, it's paying you off, you're getting good cards, you're making hands, then unless you're sick, have an appointment, got something else to do, you want to stick it out at that table and make as much money as you can. If you feel that new players have come in and the flavor of the table has changed and it's getting a little tougher to do some of the things you want, then maybe it's time to move off. This could be just somebody trying to steal. I'm just going to give them a loose call here and see what I can do on the flop. I'm out of position, so I'm going to bet my middle pair into the person. They're going to put me on the 10 here, thinking I have something like ace 10, king 10. So if they come over the top of me, they can beat those hands. So he's saying that he's got an overpair to the board, or he's got a 10, or he's got a flush draw here. And my decision with middle pair, do I want to pay $2 more to do it? And the answer is not at this time. So I gained some information from the individual. Cost me some money, but that's okay. I got to play it aggressively. Now there's a raise in early position and a re-raise. I'm going to pot this and see what really this guy has as Russia, because these Russian players are usually generally very aggressive. I mean, he could have me beat right now. He could have a big pair. He could have a big ace king or something like that. I don't think I'd stack with him with the ace queen at this point. I like the fact that he just called me there. I gotta go. Oh, if he beat me to the punch, my bet would have been $6 there. I don't think that I could get him to fold. Putting 6 in, 17 behind, because you have to remember, I don't think I don't have a redraw for a flush here. I have to give it up. This crappy hand, we gotta throw it away. Just fast and furious at this table compared to the last table. Um, all right, well, six-handed, definitely gonna pot this. King, queen's nothing to run away from. Somebody re-raises me, I gotta be careful, because I'm sure they'd have a little bit better hand than me. Remember, ace 3 against king, queen, the ace 3 is only favorite, is the favorite, 58-42, approximately. So king, queen looks good, but ace 3, ace reg is almost 2/3 better. You know, you're going to win 1/3 with the king, queen, 2/3 with the ace 3. Not to say that you should be playing the ace reg, but you should be thinking about how an ace is more powerful in this game. There's another re-raise. This is very aggressive, and he's on the button. He's the Russian guy that I told you about. You should accept the fact that those people are going to throw money around. So here we got the pocket kings. They're both a red, of course. We want to raise before us. We want to get in the action, act like we're throwing money around. We don't want this guy timing out like this. We really want people putting money in the pot. There's my boy. So I'm going to raise him up like I did before. He's thinking about it. Yes, I will stack with him on this scene. The ace is not what I want to see on that hand, but he doesn't want to see it either. 5-2, even though it's on the button, is an easy fold. Hey Nigel, what I found out, Nigel is soft top 666 over there in chat. That's welcome back Al that he put up there. But I've got 6 videos up. I don't know if you've seen my messages lately. What Twitch does, delete the videos in 14 days. So for those of you that haven't viewed some of the videos, they might have a deletion date on it. Some of them have 5 and 6 days remaining. So if you want to look at that free video, go ahead and look at it now. I've also started a YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube, just put in Al Spath, ALSPATH, 2 words, or Teach GPL, or poker training, or something like that. See if you can find me. But I've now uploaded all those videos to YouTube, so when they go away on Twitch, there'll be a permanent place for them on YouTube. But they're only permanent if you can find them. So I really need some feedback. If you go to YouTube later on and you just search my name, Al Spath, 2 words, if you find the videos that I've been putting up there, and they should be playing for you. I would really like some feedback that you had no trouble finding them and that they played well for you. Thanks. Okay, early position. I'm not really fond of the Queen Jack, but I got to play it. I got to raise. I cannot limp with that hand. Oh, thank you, Nigel. It's not a hand that I want to call anybody's raise with. It's just really lousy and I'm out of position. I got to figure this person's got a pair, an ace, or 2 big cards. He could have a king. That means my 5 is the only live card I have. He can have my quarter. It's as simple as that. In this case, with the 7-8, this is a hand that I'll pay some money because I could really win a lot of money with this hand if I hit the right cards. I'm going to tell you right now, your ace kings, your ace queens, you love seeing them, but they don't win as often as these suited connectors and the pairs. So when you're playing these micro limits, if you can get in pretty cheap on hands, you might want to consider playing these hands aggressively. Oh, I put in 65 and it did 50. Wow, I got lucky there. Again, 10 queen is not the best. If it's raised before me, I'll throw it away here. If he folds or limps, I'll raise. Okay, so we're gonna go 65 cents here and see what happens. Oh, ran into somebody that's got ace king or better, probably. He hasn't excuse me, played many hands, got the money. He's out of position and he raised that much, he has a good hand. If I catch a queen, I might be behind ace queen. If I catch a 10, I might be behind pocket jacks, pocket queens, kings, all the way up. You just have to give in to sometimes like that. You have to read the tea leaves, and somebody that raises that much to somebody raising and raises out of the blind and knows they're out of position, they usually do it with a pretty good hand. Again, he's the aggressive guy from Russia, but he's out of position and he raises a big amount. You got to figure he picked up a really good hand. Now, I don't really like the ace-8 here. I mean, it's not my favorite hand, but I can't limp with it. And since everybody else is stealing some stuff, maybe I can just throw a bet in there and pick up some blind money. That was my intention. Has the ace-8, but it's suited this time, but I'm out of position. That's not a good thing. I'm probably going to face a 60-cent raise here from one of these 2 guys or gals. More likely the button, but nobody takes it. And ace-8 wins 2 hands in a row. A suited ace again, but the kicker problem. I don't like playing ace-deuce or straights and things like that. I'm going to call here hoping to get this guy in. That's the only reason I'm hoping I'm going to get a flop here with 2 spades or better. I did not get him in, and I'm done. So I really wasted 50 cents in this, but I took a chance. I don't like the ace deuce because if you go for a straight, you need 3, 4, 5. You put 3, 4, 5 on the board, you're looking at somebody that has 6, 7. So it's not the best situation. I'd rather have ace 3 or ace 4 and get the straight, needing the odd cards to get it. I'd rather not get ace 5 either. I'm gonna let this one go because then 2, 3, 4 is on the board and somebody again could have 5, 6. So I'm more apt to play the ace 4 and the ace 3 more often. Although, if I get ace-5 suited, I'm not running away from it. I just don't think that your straight possibilities are as good, that you'll be victorious even if you get there. So what should he bet here? It's $1.38 in the pot. Well, he checks, and if he check, the other person should bet near the pot and try to take it away. Unless he feels that Canucco or Canuckaroo, whatever it is, has a 6 over there, and he just checked it because he wanted to see if he could trap. Take a shot. Take a shot. Put $1 out there. Nope. They chop it. If he bets the $1, the guy folds. He checked twice. He's telling you don't have it. Okay, well, I'm getting ready to raise on this hand. Let's see what he's made out of. My flop would be Queen 10. Queen 10, 2 jacks, King Jack. Oh no, Mr. Russia gets in the way of everything. My hand is not that good to go $4. Call 280. Wow. He's out of position. He's made a big raise. Is he stealing all this stuff? I don't know. I can't imagine I'm ahead there. Even if he has an ace, like I told you before, just a solo ace, he's going to win 2 out of 3 times. I really have to hit. If I hit the king or hit the jack, if he has ace jack or ace king, I'm going to lose my whole stack to him. So is it better to pay the money or not? Some of you would say, hell yeah, you're in the pot. Go ahead and gamble. What do you worry about? What are you afraid of? Well, I'm not afraid of anything in that situation. I just want to protect the stack. It's been going up and down here, and we're down $5 at this table, $11 to the good on the other table earlier in the session. But I don't want to waste my money. I'm just going to call here since I'm out of position and see if I can check raise if I hit something. Unfortunately, I didn't, so I can see where I'm at by betting into him. He comes over the top, I can get rid of this hand real easy, and if he there, and I take it down and I win the hand. If he calls me, I may get a redraw for an ace, a redraw for another club, and then I have the nut flush draw. So sometimes when you're heads up with somebody that was aggressive and you think maybe the one card in the playing zone didn't hit him, bet into them and take their power away from them. Just something to try. Expect a raise on the back side here. There it is. King 10 is not defensible. You shouldn't be playing King 10, especially at these lower limits. You get better skills later on, better after the flop skills, where you can steal something and float and do some other things. Maybe you can work that in, but right here, just give way to the raise. Even if 2 10s or 3 10s flop, it's the best thing to do. Wait for hands that you're the aggressor. I would rather have this 9-6 be first in and raise with it than call a raise with King 10 out of position. Let me put it that way. I have more chance of winning with the raise on this on the button if I was first in, rather than calling that other person's raise with the King 10. And we'll just have to check that out. Example. They must be listening to the same broadcast. No, they're not. Let's fold the deuce 7. You notice that almost everybody that gets it folded down to them on the button puts in a raise. You have to do it at these levels. If you're going to play a 6 max table, if you're going to play a short table, you've got to take the position and put the pressure on the blinds who get 2 random cards. It's as simple as that. If you're not doing that, then you need to be on a full table and get away from this fast-paced table, or you shouldn't be playing at this level. Another raise. This one's before the button, so you might want to consider the ranges are going to be pretty wide anyhow. So I would think that he has something pretty good since he wasn't on the button, and the button still could have got into the hand. So maybe an ace 7, maybe an ace 10 for star. I'm talking about. See if he bets here. No. King Queen is gonna. Oh, look at that. He had the nuts and he just checked it and hoping that star would take a play at the thing. So I'm going to tell you right now. Here's another lesson for you. A little nut you can put in the storage compartment. BYOB at the end. BYOB. Bring your own bet. Don't expect somebody else to bet it for you when cards like that show up on the board, 3 cards in the hot zone. BYOB. If they've got something, they might call you. If you check and they don't have much of at all, they're going to probably just check it back, and you're not going to get anything out of it. Put money into the pot. Don't expect them to bet it for you. Now, there are circumstances where you're up against somebody very, very aggressive, and you know that if you check, they won't even see what's on the board and they'll bet. That's a different story, but you got to be very, very aware of that. Now, I'm closing the betting here. It cost me 25 for 157. So, that's 5-6 to 1, but I'm out of position and my cards are not good. Some people would do it because of the pot odds here. I'm inclined not to do the 36 cents. I just don't like my card. If I had 4-5 there, I would have called. I'll be perfectly honest with you. If I had King Jack, King 10, something like that, I might have called because I was closing the betting and nobody else could raise me. But I'm not going to call there where I don't have really a straight draw. I don't have a flush draw. I got one big card. I got one person that raised, one person that called or raised. One of my outs of the kings, or 2 of them, might even be out. So it leaves me down to a 4, and that's not very good. So that's my analysis on what I would do. Here we got this guy again raising, decent hand. I'm out of position. If he's got an ace, he's got me dominated, but I don't know if he's got an ace. I'm going to try something here with a call, and then I'm going to go for a little check raise and hope he doesn't have the king. We'll find out if he comes back over the top of me. And so we're going to go to 218 here. He might put me on ace deuce and fold it up. If I come out betting into him with the hand, remember before I bet into somebody I didn't have anything, but I took it away from him. In this case, I had something. If I bet into him, I don't get his money. If I check and then bet the check raise, I get the money he put in the pot. So I wanted him to put the money in first. I'm gambling that he didn't raise pre-flop with ace king. That's what I was gambling on. Again, being aggressive on the button gets me 35 cents. Lousy cards. For those of you that are on any kind of rakeback plan, these 6-player tables can quickly reduce your bonus and get it released to you. So you should, if you got the skills to play on them, even if you can play at the lower limits, if nickel dime or 10 cent 25, play the 6-player table, you'll be in a lot of hands, you'll rake a lot of points, you'll get a lot of money free released to you. I don't know if any of you are following the Wise Man, but he used to be called the Long Shot. But the Wise Man, Dan, is also broadcasting from Full Flush Poker, and he's crushing or grinding at the MTTs there. So you might want to check him out. I think there's a post at heartbeatpoker.net, and there should be something on Facebook as well. If you can't find it, email me. You can always email me if you got a question about anything, all right? Just alspath@alspath.com, and I'll get you a link, or I'll get you somebody to answer your question about rake or free rolls or anything like that. I know some of you don't even have bankrolls and can't deposit. That's why you should download the Full Flush link that's on my page and join heartbeatpoker.net and play their free rolls. They offer lots of money added events and fun stuff, and try to establish a free roll, establish a bankroll, and then take what you learned during these Twitch videos, and then just try to increase that and grow a stack. You know, growing up, everybody said to you, grow some. Well, now it's time to grow some. And you know what I'm referring to. Again, I'd like one more player in here. If I was going to call this guy, I don't mind this hand, but I needed one more person. Here it's 35 for 95. I'm getting less than 3-1 from money. It's just not worth it. I'm out of position. My cards are not good. And I'm facing a raise. Those are all negative things. But if it was another 60 cents in the pot, you know, then we're looking at completely different odds. I would ask anybody that's listening right now to this video live to just say hello in the chat room. I'd appreciate it if you could just say who you are and what your name is. And if you don't want to, I understand that too. Under the gun raise, I got a nice position. I got decent cards, but they're not good cards. If that was Queen 10, I'd be in this hand. Oh, there's the flush draw. I expect this guy to go half or better. Remember, half pot bets are not convincing bets. I would come over the top of this guy right now if I win. I think he's going to time out though. We'll never find out. Queen 3 is another horrible hand. Expect the raise. You can't limp. You see somebody limp from the button, they don't really know how to play poker that well. And if you're doing it, you need to stop doing it. Put that big L, make that thumb and that index finger and make that L. Put it right up on your forehead and say, limping is for losers. Just keep telling yourself, limping is for losers. Yes, there are going to be times that you call. Yes, there might be a time that you limp. It's going to be very seldom. Most of the time you should be raising, re-raising, or folding. Raise more than call, fold more than raise. I've been saying that for years. Okay. I got to practice what I preach, don't I? I don't edit anything. You hear me, you see me play, whether I get dumped on or I win. It's for you to learn from what mistakes I might make or what other players might make. Again, he's done this before. I'm going to give him a loose call this time because he's been stealing out of that position, I think. See if he goes to the $4 or $3 range here. If he does, I got to give it up. I don't even have another. Why did he go 210? 210. Boy, I almost think he missed there with ace jack or ace queen with the 210. That bet was under a half pot. I could have come over the top on that one. If I had a middle pair, a bottom pair, a redraw, anything else that if he stays with me, it's going to be to my advantage to have something. I just had nothing. Again, I need another caller to get in this. I'm out of position. My cards are not good. I think he's very loose back there, but I got to wait and try to sting him when I can. So let's see if he does it again. Yeah, nobody gets a hand that often. And we got a viewer here from Brewman 6'8". Wow, let's fold that right there. And go back to there. So if they both fold, I'm definitely going to hit the pot button. If he raises or if he comes in at all, I'm probably going to get out. I mean, if he limps, I'm going to raise him, but there, I can't stick around with that. If this was Jack 10 suited, I would have 3-bet him. Just so you know. And we lost our Mr. Aggressive. I guess he ramped it up and then he took off. Black 9 would have been the card I would want to come off right now. Would definitely be a Black 9. The way Starr called that, it almost resembled the fact that he's got the 10, 10 queen, maybe even 10-8, 10-9. If Starr has the 10, he's going to bet. He's not going to check, in my opinion. That's how you call hands. Got to figure it out, folks. That's the only way to do it. Just put players on hands and get away from hands, then you know you beat. It takes a lot of work to do that, but if you watch some of my other videos, you saw me put players on hands. We concentrated on that. There's a good indication of how you can save yourself some money. There's no reason that person should have called I win. He left no doubt. Oh, ho, ho. That's kings or aces against queens or ace king. Here we go. Well, that's a hesitation there. So we know he doesn't have aces. And he folds it up. That's a fold. A lot of people might raise with this hand. I'm not inclined to do that. Again, when people bet, you have to interpret what their bet means, what kind of cards they have based on the flop, the texture, the card that comes off. It's very difficult. It's more difficult when you're playing shorthanded or heads up or tables like this because people play a wider range of hands, and therefore it's more important to you to understand that. I'm going to be the big blind and go around once more after that. And as you saw from the first video, we were up $11. Here we're down $5. We've been swinging up and down, and oh boy, here we go. Would that person, you have to say to yourself, would that person put $22 in without having the 5? And probably the answer to that is no. He's out an overpair. He's got the 5, one of the two. Now, he's been very aggressive. I'm going to play, this could come back to haunt me, but I'm just going to give him a call here. Hopefully I hit something, which I didn't. And I was going to try to trap him because of his aggressiveness, but I didn't catch anything. But I'm going to take another card off, knowing that I got 2 overs and a backdoor draw here. Now we're going to find out if he really got what he says he has. I'm actually saying I got 9-10 here. He called it anyhow. So I'm going to have to fire again to prove. He's going to have to tell me he's got something. Looks like I want to get paid off, and he doesn't take it. Yeah, Nigel, I'm still doing private coaching. Anybody could reach me at alspath@alspath.com for a free Skype interview, and then we'll see how things match up. I'm going to take my auto post off. I want him to raise. I'm going to 3-bet it. Sometimes you get what you wish for, and it's not, guy could wake up with aces too. But the last time I did this, I got an ace on the flop. It wasn't very pretty. I mean, I won, but I didn't like it. We want him to go over the top of us here. Same thing again. See what happens. I'm not as confident with two people in it that they don't have aces. I would give this hand up if somebody comes over the top of me. If he calls, I know I'm beat too. I'm beat. Some of you might say, well, why don't you push in pre-flop? Well, when you got a premium hand, if you listen to and read any of the books by Ed Miller, he'll tell you, when you get a premium hand, you got to take some chances with it, and you got to put some money out. You got to make somebody pay to stay or to play, but you don't want to chase them away. If you do that, you're going to just go up in little increments. You're here to win somebody's whole stack, and you need to hit something really good to do that, and you got to have something good. You got to give them a little rope to hang themselves. It's inevitable though when you have queens or kings. An ace will flop, and you just got to fire and see where you're at, and hopefully you take it down. He could have been just thinking that same thing. I had kings, and he was going to come over representing the ace and take it away from me. Well, thanks, Max. So here we got a bad hand, the 2-6, easy to fold it and get away from the hand. Everybody has an opinion in poker. Those of you that know me, those of you that play my videos will understand that I'm trying to teach you, and it's a hard game. So we're going to pot this at this point. Remember, we got one more hand after this before the end of the session. We played an earlier session with four-handed at a full table. Another plan, we just pot it. When I'm done with this, I'm gonna go over and look at Max Poker 111's videos and see how good he's doing. He thinks he's very sharp at this. Well, we got a backdoor flush draw, we got top pair, top kick, and we're just going to see what he's made out of right here. Max could be absolutely right. I could take it right here in the shorts. It's up to Star, though. Oh, damn. I was thinking he might call me. So we made it back to $27.94, which is about a $3 winner at this table. We were up and down all the time, and $11 at the other micro limits. Remember, folks, this is micro limits. There's things you can't do here that you can do up above. The stacks are not deep. There are people here with shallow bankrolls. Anyhow, you listen to the videos, listen to the coaching, listen to about position, about the cards, the range, putting players on hands, pot odds, all of that, and you'll do fine. Again, it's the 23rd of July. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and we'll see you soon. And Max, I'm coming to see